Oh, hold on. My camera's missing. Here, oh, there we go. You guys just got a free tour of my ceiling. How about that? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the weekend stream. Got a lot going on here. Couple new news stories. I'm going to try to get through the news and reviews quicker today than we did last week. Get back into that gameplay sooner. You may or may not be able to tell, but I am a little under the weather. This crud just popped up last night. I feel fine. Mostly just congested. A little bit of a cough, but no brain fog or fatigue or body aches or anything yet. Glad to see everybody in the chat whacking it to the like button. Let's see. We got a lot of people in here today waiting for the stream to start. We got Magus, The Wind, Silent Echo, Nobody, Haster. I think I saw Rashi up there earlier. I'm sure I'm missing some people here. Maybe I got everybody. Dang, good crew today. All right. So, yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Just got a new job from a company called Activate Games based out of Winnipeg, installing interactive games as an electronics engineer. Oh, cool, man. Also got clothes on my house at the end of October. Sweet, man. That's awesome. All good news. Happy for you. Okay, so there's no actual Skyrim news that I could see anyway. I definitely tend to pay attention to this stuff. We did get a new Starfield drop. The Settled Systems all must serve like little animated short. Now, if you remember in the lead up to Starfield, we got those little animated shorts that kind of showed off the world, did a little bit of world building. They were all really good. I liked them a lot. We got one for Starfield here for the new expansion that's dropping in 2 days on Monday, actually. And this kind of gives a little bit more light into what the story is going to be like over there. We got these like big blue portals that seem to be appearing, and whether or not these Varun zealots were actually manifesting these blue portals in some way, or if it's just some kind of anomaly that they expected to happen. Either way, it just feels like they expected this stuff to happen, as half of them are just kind of like sitting through it and the other half are like scared out of their mind for it. But I feel like a lot of the story here is going to revolve around these vortexes, where the vortex horrors are coming from. We're going to be harnessing this vortex power for craftable grenades. And then we're going to have a few different factions of Varun in the playable area that we're going to play through. And we're going to, I think we're going to help one race to power over the other one. Things like that. I was kind of hoping for like a Nuka world, like 4 large factions in a really large playable area kind of thing, but I'll be happy if it's something like Dragonborn or Far Harbor. Either way, we're going to get a lot more backstory, a lot more lore on the Zealots. Let me turn off this music here. It's getting a little distracting there. Good for the intro, but if we're trying to talk over stuff, then, you know, we're playing other stuff. So yeah, we got this little kid here who's seen all this crap happen. It's terrifying, and then the parent here sees the fear on the kid's face, and they're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. We gotta I gotta save my kid. Yeah, good stuff. So this is probably all happening before we start playing, and then we're probably going to be dealing with the aftermath, the fracture. This kind of smacks of Rapture to me, right? Like there are certain zealots who are praying for this vortex to come eat them up and take them to whatever, you know, religious promised land they might have. And we've seen in a lot of the previews this blue glow that some of the enemies and some other NPCs have, and I think that they're called reclaimed, so that kind of leans more into the Rapture type thing that I've been discussing here. But again, it's all very cryptic. We don't really know yet, but we'll get to play it on Monday, so I'm looking forward to it. Not everybody's cup of tea, but that's the closest thing to Skyrim news we have is the Starfield stuff. All right, so that was quick. More heresy is always a good thing. Yep. Harnessing the power of the warp. That is heresy. Yes, indeed. Finally got the rogue. Varun are like a sexy snake cult, right? Yes, indeed. They love snakes and they love the sex. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe it's just a giant orgy there all the time. Superior to Parker 666. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Doing all right. Coming down with a little cold or something. E. Miller. Hope you're doing well. Like the art style. Yeah, they did one of these for each of the main playable areas. I think they did one for like the New Atlantis. They did one for Aquila City. They did one for Neon and everything before Starfield came out. And it was all really cool. It really gets you kind of in the mood with some cool little world building vignettes and what each faction is kind of about that's located in each one of those areas. Okay, so next up in the news stories that I wanted to talk about. So these 40 series GPUs, if you're in the market for a new card, especially like a mid-range card or something like this, you might be in luck because it's not just these retailers. This is more of like a European focus because we're getting like British pounds or whatever here. But a lot of these like mid-range 40 series cards are going down in price, and that is because the 50 series cards are coming soon, and a lot of these retailers are trying to make room in their inventory for the new cards. So you're likely to get a pretty good deal on some of these cards here. Not a huge discount on some of them, but to see the prices actually go down, you know, $70, $80 on some of these, that's good. So if you're in the market for a new card, now might be a good time to buy, because as soon as those 50 series cards are announced, there's going to be a run on GPUs again. People are going to be trying to get in for pre-orders, and then that's going to starve the supply. So people who just wanted a GPU, people who are building new computers or in the market for new computers, are going to need a GPU regardless of if it's a 50 series card or not. And if they can't find the 50 series card, they're going to go get a 40 series card. And then now all of a sudden, all these GPUs are sold out everywhere again, driving the prices right back up again. So before the 50 series stuff is announced, maybe a little bit after it's announced and before it comes out, would be a good time to get these 40 series cards on a little bit of a discount. The 40 series cards are all reviewed super duper well. There was a little bit of problem with the 4090s and the power connectors that have since been fixed, but most people still didn't really have problems with that. This is more about the mid-range cards that didn't really have that issue anyway. But yeah, this is usually the dip in the waves that are, you know, GPU prices. So yeah, if you're looking for that sweet frame gen and, you know, DLSS and everything like that, yeah, 40 series cards are great, and now they are getting more affordable. So all right. Next up, we had a PlayStation Direct. And they did make some announcements. It wasn't like the greatest. I wouldn't say it was like the greatest PlayStation Direct ever. But we did get some announcements. We got the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. I think this is coming out in February. No real gameplay, but Ghost of Tsushima is surmised by many as like the greatest open world game of all time. They took the Assassin's Creed open world, Ubisoft's formula, and really perfected it. I haven't played it yet. It's still in my backlog. I still very much want to play it. It's just a matter of how many hours I have in a day and how much time I can dedicate to gaming. But this is one that people were really looking forward to. This is mostly just cinematic, cool cinematics, but yeah, I think there were a lot of people looking forward to this one.
And now, every Ronin here is after you.
And how much are the 3090? Well, the high-end cards are gonna stay high, right? You're gonna pay a premium for the having the best in slot that you can get, but the mid-range cards are where the value is. Oh, Silent Echo, you didn't know about this, huh? Yeah, a lot of people were expecting like a Ghost of Tsushima, getting that part 2 in there somewhere, but they went with a full new name on here, Ghost of Yote. Yeah, still not much info. I'm sure we'll be seeing more. This is kind of more just a teaser announcement trailer. Carrying on the Shinobi legacy of the Ghost. Nice. This game might well kill Assassin's Creed Shadow. Yeah. So, adjacent to this, Assassin's Creed Shadows, with all the controversy aside and everything, that got delayed. Star Wars Outlaws actually undersold according to their Ubisoft's expectations. So they wanted to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows to February 2025 to directly, and this is just the latest example of Ubisoft stepping on its own crank with you know, the top-down leadership of just how inept Ubisoft has been lately. They decided to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows to polish it up and create a better, like a more marketable, a more attractive package for consumers. But then they just delayed it to coincide with the launch of Ghost of Tsushima, like their biggest competitor, right? So that's just like, all right, they're just stepping on their own crank yet again. Good job, Ubisoft. The thing that Assassin's Creed has going for it, though, is name recognition, the fact that it's multi-platform, it's going to release on everything all at once. This is going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive for a while until it eventually comes to PC, but you know, Xbox players, if there are any left still, will be able to play Assassin's Creed. I think they'll both do fine. Volume-wise, Assassin's Creed is probably still going to beat this game, but reviews-wise and player sentiment and everything, the Ghost games are always going to win. So that was exciting. That was kind of like the anchor of the show. Everything else was a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit more expected. We did get a new trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds, which looks absolutely incredible. I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise. It was high quality, it was good, but it just didn't capture me. None of the Monster games have. I do have Monster Hunter Worlds in my backlog, and this seems like more of a spiritual succession to Monster Hunter Worlds. Kind of more of a high quality, more AAA kind of thing. Monster Hunter Rise was more of like a Switch first game, and then they ported it to other platforms, so a little bit lower quality, maybe closer to a AA than a AAA in terms of Worlds versus Rise. And this seems to be more like on the AAA, like super high quality, super high production value kind of thing. Everything looks fantastic. Some early reports on dev kits and everything are saying that this is having performance issues. So especially if you're playing on a PC, PC ports have been plagued with performance issues. You would think it would be the other way around, but a lot of developers recently seem to be having an easier time optimizing for a stable, you know, PS5 platform. So you might get a better port on the PS5 than you will on a PC, at least at first, but they'll patch it. They'll make it better. This one's another one that's coming out next year, probably also in February. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of stuff coming in February, so I just assume that everything that's coming out now is coming out in February. Will we ever get Fallout 4? Why don't they just put the meat down? Speaking of AC, I'm currently playing AC2. I love how they act the sales for how surprise them. Yeah, people are tired of the Ubisoft formula, man. As someone who was an Ubisoft fan, having AC Shadows bomb on arrival is good. Might just be the kick in the pants Ubisoft needs. Yeah, maybe. I think it's a top-down leadership issue. At this point, you got to imagine that Yves is and his kind of high-level CEO or executive level stuff. I mean, that's what reports from the games are good, right? It's just the marketing, the pricing stuff, and just, you know, being told to prioritize these stupid open world filler mechanics over actually good gameplay is an issue. I mean, will you play Oh yeah, I played Fallout 4 for thousands of hours, actually. When the fancy strikes me, I'll play it again. And I'll probably make some content on it, but as of right now, I don't really have the space on a high-speed disk on my machine. I've been more attacking backlog and things like that. Let's see. All right, what other news? What other news? Okay, so more stuff out of the PlayStation Direct. We did get a new Dragon Age Veilguard, so a lot of people are, you know, pretty high on this. BioWare did not do well with its last release, Anthem. That got kind of shit canned shortly after release, and it didn't go very far. They ended up shutting down the servers, and this is another classic instance of the publisher dictating to a developer that they need to make a live service looter shooter game, and you know, they did what they could, being kind of a single player focused studio, but of course, you know, in a gaming world that's completely saturated with live service looter shooters, it's not going to do well. And the fact that you had a developer going out of its comfort zone to do something that it didn't want to do, the quality ended up suffering for it too. So this is going to be a return to form of sorts. There are a lot of complaints about how the game looks. I don't mind it. I think it looks good, but if you're used to the gritty look of Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition, you might be turned off by the handsome Squidward look of the Kunari and stuff like that, but in action the game looks great, and we're gonna see a dragon fight here. They're fighting a frost dragon. The gameplay looks damn good. It looks a lot of fun, and then there are a bunch of classes and subclass classes that you can build up. It's got like a full complement of like perk points and level up options and things like that. So this is 100% my kind of shiz, and I'm excited for it. Yeah, so you can see that the action is frantic, it's quick. You're not gonna see the handsome Squidward Kunari, the guy with the big horns. Those guys are supposed to be grizzled, scarred up, you know, barbaric warriors. Instead, everybody's got like this magazine covered polished sheen to them. And some people liked the grittier, more darker, more realistic art direction of the previous games. I haven't played a lot of the previous games, so I don't really have any kind of feels tied up with how those looked or how this looks. I just think this looks like a good game. I also don't have space. Yeah, right. There's too many good games to play. It's like a space and time situation, right? All about the physics. Remember when their CEO said they were quadruple A studio? Well, yeah, because he was talking about how much money they spent on the damn thing. That thing was, that Skull and Bones game was in like development hell for like 8 years. I don't doubt that they spent quadruple A budget making that game, but that game was definitely not a quadruple A experience for the players. Absolutely not. Hey, there's James. Welcome, James. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's just another instance of Ubisoft leadership just leading the entire boat astray. But yeah, this looks great. I'm excited. I've actually been going back and playing Dragon Age Origins lately. I'm trying to get through the original games before I play this one, so I'll wait for this one to be out for a little bit. This comes out in like mid-October, I think, just next month. I'm not going to be playing it at launch. I'll wait for a couple patches to come out and things like that. I'll be probably playing it next year, but that'll give me time to go back and play the originals and form my own opinion on which one's better. I tend to skew new in terms of what my preferences are with more streamlined gameplay mechanics and things like that. I know a lot of OG RPG players like the quote-unquote depth of those older games. And they don't mind clicking around with the clunky combat and stuff, but I'm firmly in the other camp there. I still think there are good experiences to be had with those older games, and a lot of the RPG mechanics do go deeper. It's just a side effect of them not having to focus on gameplay and visuals as much. They could go deeper in the dialogue trees and skill trees and things like that. Okay, so another one that I wanted to mention, this one's another very good, very well thought of open world game with RPG mechanics. Horizon Zero Dawn is the prequel to, or it's not even a prequel, it was just the original game. Horizon Forbidden West is the sequel to this game. Is anybody excited for this remaster? They did not need to remaster this. I think they just needed something to sell between games. Like they're probably working on something really big after Forbidden West came out, and now they needed some kind of like filler thing to sell in order to keep the studio going between big releases. This game, I don't remember when it originally came out, but I think it's only like 7 or 8 years. It's under 10 years, I'm sure, right? Let's see.
There's a threat to us all. Men in masks,
Horizon
raising up ancient
Zero
machines.
Dawn come out.
And I've seen their leader.
February 8th, 27. Yeah, this was only 7 years ago, and they're already completely remastering the game and trying to sell some. They're trying to resell a remaster of a 7-year-old game. This game has a PS5 patch that gets it to run at 4K 60, and it looks fantastic on a PS5. And it also has a great PC port that runs at unlocked frame rates all the way up to 4K, and it looks fantastic. There was no reason to remaster this, right? Your wife loves the Horizon games. Yeah, if you talk to any like random person about video games, and not just like your gamer clique, if you just open up a conversation about video games, there's a pretty decent chance that that person's favorite game is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn. This game sold an amazing amount, and it has like an astoundingly wide reach for both gamers and non-gamers. Fantastic game, but is it? I mean, even for fans of the game, are you even excited for this? I feel like the original game is still a fantastic experience, right? Welcome aboard, Ireshot. I hope you're doing well. So anybody who likes Skyrim flavored streams like this, go check out Ireshot's channel. She does a lot of streams. In fact, you've been cranking out the streams lately. I was lurking on some of them earlier in the week. Been really busy with work, so I haven't actually been able to interact too much. But yeah, go check out Ireshot's channel. Let's see here. I am subscribed here. There she is. Boom shakalaka. Oh, come on. There we go. Go subscribe. Hang out. Cool streams. Let's see. A remaster is rebuilt. Oh, that would be a remake. Remasters can be just a facelift. It's not a remake, it's a remaster. They have higher quality. They do have higher quality textures, better facial animations, probably better weather effects. They're probably adding some kind of ray tracing or something to it, but again, I don't think it's actually needed. Stunning new visuals and upgraded features. Yeah, it's going to be an incremental upgrade on whatever it is. The facial models are much better here than they are in the original game. I did actually platinum the original game on PS4. I did really like it a lot. It is a special game in terms of open world storytelling and things like that. Very cool experience. I highly recommend it to anybody, but I don't really think that you need the remastered. If you can find the original dirt cheap on Steam when the remastered comes out, it might be worth it. Yeah, remake is ground up. So like the Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, those are all remakes from the ground up. Those are basically new games. Remasters is like we're gonna take the original game and we're gonna update some features on it. It's the original code, but we're gonna add some new models, some upgraded textures, maybe some new graphical features. We're gonna unlock the frame rate for you. You know, maybe add a coat of paint with ray tracing or global illumination or something on there. PlayStation's obsession with graphics is concerning, and I say that as someone who started on the PS2. Well, I think it's not just PlayStation, it's everybody, right? Even these new PC games. Now there is a very strong indie scene on all platforms, right? And that's more about the gameplay. Their indie studios have been doing very cool things with gameplay loops, like roguelites and roguelikes, for a long time, and just making very compelling experiences based completely on gameplay alone, right? With just pixel art that one person can do, or a very, very small team. Horizon gets remastered after 7 years. Meanwhile, Bethesda, he had nothing. Want to try the game Witchfire? I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look into that one though. It sounds cool. Let's see here. Worth your time and money.
Of the world, like even just
okay, so we have, it looks like we have some fantasy mixed up with some modern shooting. It looks cool as hell.
Have some Souls mechanics in there. Is this beautiful sort of cliffside scene?
All right, let's see. I think that does it about for the news. Let me see here. Thanks for the explanation. Always confused. Yeah, and there's always some gray area between there, right? Sometimes a heavy remaster will be considered a remake, but that's usually just like a marketing call. All right, so let's move on to some mod showcases here. Now, I didn't actually install this one, but this one looks interesting to me. So this one's called SLU, Spell, Learn, and Upgrade. Now, a lot of you have already had experiences with, oh, I'm sorry, is somebody having sound issues? Oh, it looks like it, no sound issues here. Okay, thank you. Might just be your end then. Sorry, nobody. I am a little congested. The act of talking actually helps clear everything out, but I feel like I'm coming down with a cold or something. Yeah, let's go watch this here. So this one's called Spell Learning and Upgrade. So a lot of you already have experiences with like things like spell research and spell learning, those mods that kind of give you a more immersive way to learn your spells and to upgrade your spells. This one simplifies things a lot. So this basically gives you two types of experience as you use your destruction spells or other spells in combat. You get a spell XP, which increases the effects of your spells, and then you get a job XP, which increases discoverability of spells. So let me see here. It says you can use the job XP to learn new spells from the same job, which is basically the same like mod or school of spell. Higher level spells require more job XP to learn. Spells from the same mod are considered the same job. You can use spell XP to upgrade the spell. Each level will give the spell 10% magnitude and duration boost. So scalability is one of the main issues of the vanilla game, especially in terms of destruction. The damage output you do with destruction does not scale with the level or skill of the destruction skill. That is fixed by Ordinator. With the mastery perks, you do get more damage per level of destruction that you have. And then you can always do the fortified destruction potions, which is the only way to scale destruction damage with any kind of level in the vanilla game. So if you already have Ordinator, you probably don't want this, because I don't think that there is a way to only do the job XP part and not do the spell XP part. You'll be, I mean, you can still use it. You'll just be double dipping that scaled the scaled damage boost with the experience levels that you have. So this one's cool. This gives you a much more simplified way of doing immersive spell learning than something like spell research, which requires hours and days and weeks of in-game time to just learn one simple spell. And then spell learning is a little more, you know, as long as you have the materials and stuff, you can create your spells. But it's a little more immersive than just going to a vendor and buying a book, right? This was cool. Oh no, I'm always looking at new mods, Silent. I don't always install them, because in the middle of a playthrough, I'm not gonna touch my load order unless it's like a simple drop-in SKSE thing. But I'm not usually adding mods to a profile mid-playthrough. I'll wait till the next playthrough in order to update my a new profile, a new modding profile in MO2. I got a ton of these profiles here. See, even this, I got a showcase profile here for this week, because there is an armor mod that I want to show off, or a couple of them actually. But yeah, these are all different characters. Like my Shadow Mage character, I think is in base 1.1 profile, and then I'll update I'll increment the the versions on these, and then I'll do a major incremental upgrade whenever I have like something major, like a new animation system or something that goes in there, like a, you know, do character overhauls or things like that. So yeah, I'm always keeping my finger on the post, or on the pulse of mods. One good thing with Anniversary Edition is that they made destruction much more powerful with the use of destruction potions. Oh, without the use of destruction, oh, because of new spells, right? That's kind of like, it's still not scaling though. They give you more powerful destruction spells to use, but you're not actually scaling damage with your skill, which is the real fix, I would say. Weren't the fortified destruction potions the base game though? Yes, they were. They would fortify the amplitude of destruction, not like the enchantment where it would just reduce the cost of them. No, you're good. Without the use, I read it as with the use. Okay. Yep. All right. So that one's cool. You might look into that one. I'm probably going to skip it because I'm very Ordinator centric and I don't want to double dip damage scaling with these two. But I thought that was really interesting and worth showing everybody. So the next one here, we have the quick armor rebalance. This one I thought was really interesting. This one came out. This one came out in the future. Oh no, it's August. It's September now. This one came out about a month ago. I had to go back in the hot files filter a little bit farther than some of the other ones, but this one is actually really cool. So it gives you a utility to pop up in the game, and it gives you like this. It's kind of like a reshade or ENB dialogue pop up. But it lets you take a piece of armor and assign the values and keywords to it from another piece or set of armor. So this is kind of gives you like a transmog a little bit. And I'm going to show you how this works, because I feel like it's hard to explain but easy to show. Does the mod need MCM? Let's see here. I think let's open that back up. Spell, learn, and upgrade. What are the requirements on this? DPF, dynamic persistent forms, is a hard requirement, but it doesn't say anything about SKSE or MCM. I've never heard of this dynamic persistent forms though. This is something that's new to me. So I'm not sure. It doesn't look like MCM is needed though. If that thing is a hard requirement, it's probably not going to be compatible on Xbox. Sadly, it's probably just a PC only thing. Fortified destruction potions are just plain weird. Did you know that the potion will actually boost the range of? Yes, in vanilla it will. If you're running Odin or well, maybe I think it's just Odin. Apocalypse doesn't touch it, but Odin does change that so that it's the damage now instead of the range for the cloaks. SKSE, yeah, so that's a no-go going. Okay, yeah, so it looks like that requirement for whatever that persistent forms thing was probably does need SKSE as well. The Morrowind style menu, yeah. Okay, so this is the Toughened Traveler outfit, right? So this is going to be light armor. This is a great outfit, an awesome mod. And I've paired it with the Tricorn from Immersive Armors. So we get this like really cool piratey looking thing, but it looks like clothing, right? So what if you have a character concept that you really want to use this set for, because it looks perfect, but it's an unarmored concept, like an agent or a mage, or some kind of like novel flavored mage. And you really want to lean into like alteration perk tree or the destruction perk tree, where you can't be wearing armor to get some of the boosts, or your character concept, the challenge run that you're doing, just it doesn't allow for armor of any kind. Excuse me, I'm in between a burp and a hiccup here. And I don't want to do that into your ears. So I had to pause a little bit. Okay, so this one, all right, I forgot the, there is a, there is a console command for this. It's like QAR or something like that. Yes, it is indeed just QAR for the, it's just the acronym for the mod itself. And then this also does give you an MCM, an optional SCM that you can use a hotkey to pop this up, and then there's also a minor power that you can activate to pop this up too. All right, so what I can do is just say, okay, currently worn armor, so this will take everything that I'm currently wearing, and then it will apply the vanilla set of cloth rags to this, or even cloth common. And then I am, let's see, the cloth common, does this actually include? I think it does. So yeah, it's actually going to, so yeah, it's going to, there was another like index or something that said what each one of these, oh yeah, it's in the tooltips. So this one will apply an Alakir hood, brown gloves, common clothes, and plain boots. The keywords and the stats and everything from all of those items into everything that I'm wearing here. Now I'm going to uncheck the two Dragon Priest things that I'm wearing from Warmonger's Armory on the belts. So I'm going to give the Alakir hood to the tricorn here. I'm going to give the stats and keywords from the body, hands, and feet slots to the toughened traveler stuff here. And then you just say apply all changes. Close that bad boy out. And then when we go back into our inventory here, these are all clothing now. That is fantastic. Now this is going to be good for the rest of the playthrough. And the way that this actually works, and even the tricorn here. So now I'm having a completely unarmored swashbuckler character here. These are all clothes. They're going to work with all the perks that require clothing and everything. Now the way that this works back in mod organizer here is it throws into the overwrite folder a config file. And this config file has all the information about all the different like transmogs and things that you've done. In this TOML file and these JSON files. So you can actually create a mod out of this. And we'll say QAR changes. And then this can be added to your modding profile so that it doesn't touch all the rest of your profiles. It doesn't touch any of the other, playthroughs. This will just be for this one profile. Very cool. So if you want to use it going forward, if you want to have that toughened traveler set be clothing for ever and ever, just enable that new mod in your profile and you're good to go. This is really cool. This is really cool. If you're doing any kind of like really advanced character concepting where the look of your character is very important to you, then yeah. Very, very cool. And this kind of got buried in the hot mods underneath all the booby and waifu mods that show up on the front page. So not a lot of people know about this. So I'm very happy to throw this out there. And let me put the link in the description here. Send. There you are. The boots look out of place? Yeah. They're a little fatter. This is a skinny character. But with like a beefier character, the boots don't look as big. It's just Calendil is a very skinny guy because he's a mage, right? If he were a little beefier, he would be filling out the clothes a little bit more. His body would be bigger, and the hands and feet pieces would look a little less clunky, out of place. Hey, there's Joe. Look at Joe. Panicked Monk, welcome, Betty. Hope you are doing well. Thought you was going to be a lizard. Well, I will. This is just a mod showcase. When we get to the gameplay stuff, I will be a lizard. Okay, and then finally, Haster. Speaking of you, Haster shared in some of the discords this new Herstein's hide replacer. That will be Savior's hide replacer. This looks really cool. So this takes out the bare-legged, really silly-looking Hircine's hide, and it replaces it with something that's a little more covered. You get the arm sleeves, you get the legs with the pants underneath it, and it actually does also add in a helmet, gauntlets, and boots for it as well. Very high quality, works on both male and female models. The fur on it looks really good, actually. And we can see that in action here. Yeah. Go looking after Hircine. That was Savior. Oh, what the hell? Okay, let's try that again. I've always hated that vanilla art. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. Yeah, it's a mashup, Arif. It's they are existing models for the most part, I think. Very cool looking. Works well on male and female bodies. You can see there's probably some ebony armor in there. There's a lot of the companions' wolf armor in there too. Some fur pieces that look pretty good. The helm might be original if that's not ripped out as something else, but I don't think that there is a vanilla texture or the vanilla model that you can mash on that. But yeah, really cool, and it is actually HDT enabled too. So most of it doesn't flop around, but the loincloths there on the front and the back, they do have physics, so looks good for your immersion. Yeah, so if you're looking for a replacer on the Savior's hide, which I know a lot of us were, and there are already a couple good choices out there, but this one beats them all, in my opinion. Good find by Haster. Shoutouts, buddy. Okay. So that is it for... Okay, so we're down with the... We got all the news stories down, we got the mod showcases down, and now it's time for a community spotlight. And this one, Joe... you had a good timing there. Let's send out that because the community spotlight this week is the Panicked Monk. I've been watching the Panicked Monk, aka Joe, for a long time, and a lot of you might know him as one half of the Character Crusade duo. Those podcasts had a pretty wide reach for players who are into role-playing, tabletop games, and then trying to transfer those skills over to something like Skyrim, which was a very open platform, and it continues to be. But even at the time, it was a very open platform for role-playing. But every week or so, Character Crusade would come out with a new podcast telling you how to apply some of these old RPG mechanics to Skyrim and how to get more out of your roleplay experience in this game, pretty specifically. And if you talk to people in like different roleplay circles, players who are trying to get more out of their Skyrim games, there's a fairly decent chance that someone will mention Character Crusade, either the podcast or that Circles of Conflict. And Joe, the Panic Monk here, was a half of that duo. So he's got a ton of knowledge on roleplay. If you watch through his series, you're gonna pick up a lot of tips and tricks here. And he is very, very undersubscribed, guys. The footage here, the content here is very compelling. It's worth a look. The Einarath series here has been great. It's a slow burn, but if you're okay with, stories and character progressions going slowly, and he kind of thinks his way through what this character would be doing and how the character is thinking, what she's feeling the entire time, as she's kind of slowly being taken over by Mehrunes Dagon's will, kind of in the background there. It's very compelling. And the Panicked Monk also has a unique it's either a talent or a skill, I would say. He put out the call a few months ago for just open criticisms on how he could improve his content. And there were a few people that gave some very constructive criticism. And in this day and age, it's rare for somebody to admit that they don't know something and to take criticism to heart and to act on it in a very open and non-aggressive way. And that's that talent or skill that I was talking about that the Panic Monk has. He took this criticism in a very constructive way, and he vastly improved his content, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. So he incorporates like a third-person narrative into it every few episodes. He does a little bit of voice acting to where he's in character some of the time, and then he does some just let's play stuff, and it has a really good rotation on that. So you actually get a lot of different perspectives of Einarath's story and what's going on in this playthrough from a lot of different characters and from the player himself. It was all very interesting. I suggest that I highly recommend the channel to anybody. He has some older playthroughs of the last Dwemer left in Skyrim. Very interesting. I'm blanking on the name of that one though. I'm here in the outtakes. Shoot. I don't remember your Dwemer monk's name, Joe. I'm sure you can. There's somebody here will be Zanak. That's it. Thank you, Haster. Yeah, we got a lot of monk fans in the chat today, which is good. But if you're not subscribed, please go help him out. He's vastly undersubscribed for the quality of the content and his ideas and things that he's sharing. So yeah, there you go. A Dwemer's Tale, Zanak. Thank you, Joe. So that was the community spotlight this week. So go check out the Panicked Monk. Do you have a lot of the Character Crusade stuff on that channel? I'm not sure here. There might be some Character Crusade stuff on here. Most of that's over on Couch Warrior channel, which I think most of us are subscribed to anyway. But since the monk is still active here, I wanted to give him a shout out there. A little more than just a shout out. I wanted to tell you what he's all about there. Okay, so that's it. Hey, look at that. We 50 minutes. Last week it was an hour and a half, so we're cutting it down. We're getting better. I'm gonna take a quick break here. We'll do an ad or whatever, and then when I come back, we'll take a look at the new character, the Argonian Thief of the Guardian series. It's gonna be a pure thief character. And I'll get into what's going to make that character tick. It's going to be a little bit different than the character build streams that we've been doing for the mage and the warrior. So look forward to that. And I shall return momentarily. See you soon. All right, back in action. Did you guys miss me? I missed you. Oh, Joe's blaming the community for the slow burn pace. Of course. Yeah, in that last season that you posted, or last episode that you posted yesterday, Monk. I saw you did some crossfades and some cuts during travel time, which I think just helps keep the pace up a little bit. All right, let's see, where are we going here? Collects many things. Okay, so this is the new character. This is the thief for the Guardian series. This is the pure thief. So the Guardian series was, for anybody who hasn't, been around, it's the different pure base classes of Elder Scrolls. So we have the warrior, the mage, and the thief, and those all kind of go off of let's see, time for Cam, off of the Guardian stones. And this is the thief character for this. This is collects many things. She is a lone Argonian in Skyrim, and that can be a tough place for someone like her, right? She's got dark green scales with some purple accents around her eyes. She's very meek and very timid at the moment because, she's gotten some guff from the sort of more agoraphobic, xenophobic people of Skyrim. And it's kind of hard to fit in a place where everybody just automatically thinks you're going to try to steal their stuff. So she does lurk around the shadows and stuff, and this is going to be kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy type thing where she doesn't fit in, she's not trusted, so she's kind of forced to lurk around the shadows and steal stuff to make a living for herself. But the character is going to be a little bit more dynamic, right? As she kind of fits in more with her skill set, her speech skill as part of the thief group of skills, which speech is part of. As that goes up, she's going to become a little bit more of a brazen con artist than just, a pickpocket and regular thief. But in the meantime, she's going to stick to the shadows. She's not really going to be interacting too much with the general public. And we'll just kind of see where her story goes from there. In terms of gameplay, I'm not going to be like power leveling as much as like the mage and the warrior, because this game is less about, or this class is really less about direct combat than it is about the tension that it is of whether or not you're going to get caught, and then the tension of what to do once you get caught. So for the mage and the warrior, it's all about combat all the time, right? For the thief, it's about avoiding combat as much as possible. Now, that being said, there are plenty of situations in Skyrim that are going to force you into open combat with some kind of enemy during boss fights, dragon fights, things like that. So we're going to need to be able to craft this character and level her up in a way that will be viable for dragons and bosses as well. But for the most part, we're going to be just trying to avoid combat as much as possible. We're going to be doing some sneak archery stuff because archery is a core fundamental skill of the thief, even though it is in the warrior stone for, I think, either Wildcat, Ordinator, or the unofficial patch, or maybe all of them. It's probably the unofficial patch moves it back over to the warrior stone, but That's going to be her main source of offense. With Ordinator, we also do get the bear traps, which I will try to incorporate into a level 50 build if I can. Those do take a not insignificant amount of perk investment to get going correctly, but that will kind of add a little bit of variance to the thief sneak archer gameplay that we've all been playing for 13 years now. The water's pretty. Oh, thanks. It does look nice right now, doesn't it? Oh, I got a seam right there though. Grody. This looks nice though. Yeah, so to kind of lean into this tension of, am I gonna get caught? And if I do get caught, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna handle the guards and the rush of somebody trying to catch me? So this is gonna be a very methodical and sorry, this is a little bit distracting right here. Okay, I thought I was seeing a gap in the quiver there. So this is going to be kind of very methodical and tactical. We're going to be casing a joint or a person very heavily before we go through with the job, whether it be a fishing job for Delvin with the pickpocketing, or if it's a heist job, or if it's just, trying to get stolen artifacts. We're going to be casing a place. We're going to find out the schedules of the people who live there, when they're gone, when they're asleep. Especially in the case of the fishing jobs where we need to pickpocket, it's going to be easier to do that if the target NPC is asleep. But another big thing that we're going to do, and this is where the tactics come in, is we're going to plot out our escape path, our contingency plans on what to do if we get caught. I am running Sewers of Skyrim. And the hidden hideouts of Skyrim, although I don't think I have the city hideouts that also provide another alternate way in and out of those cities, but I am running Sewers of Skyrim, which does give us a very lengthy, expansive underground network of ways to get in and out of a city and ways to escape guards. So we'll be plotting our escape routes and things like that before we actually do the thing. Now, to lean into this, there are going to be consequences. I am running Shadows of Skyrim, which is the alternate death scenario. So if I do decide to try to escape a guard and they one-shot me because I'm running on legendary difficulty, then there will be hell to pay. So in some situations, I may just want to take the jail time as opposed to trying to escape. But the priorities are try to get out without ever being detected, and then try to escape without getting caught. But then try not to die, because if I do, there's gonna be consequences. But I also do want to come up with contingency plans for getting caught as well, and we'll talk about that. Things like stashing your stolen goods and your gold and things before you do something risky, and then going back to the drop location to pick those up. So this is going to be a lot of role play, a lot of very tactical, stealth-oriented gameplay, and then we'll be cranking up the difficulty. If it's too easy, I'll use Wildcat to crank up NPC damage output and things like that. How does that sound? You guys like her? This is also the first female character I've played in a very, very long time. I'm coming around on the idea of it a little bit. It just, there's only so many archetypes that you can go for male characters, and I just felt like with the thief and kind of like the timid, more vulnerable stuff, it kind of fit with the female Argonian a little bit more. I don't want to sound like sexist or genderist or anything, but I don't know. I just, when I envisioned this character, it was a female for whatever reason, and I'm excited to play. All right, I need to run out for a bit. If I don't catch the end of today, I'll see you next week. All right, Joe, good luck with everything. Is she lusty? She's not lusty. Wind, get your mind out of the gutter. No, this one's not lusty. She feels very much out of place and vulnerable in a very alien world and a very hostile world in Skyrim here. A lot of the people don't really like her, maybe don't want her here. And a lot of that comes down to the Skyrim people. They live in a bubble Most of the people, especially in these smaller towns and stuff, they've never seen an Argonian and so don't understand them. Most people don't understand Argonians either because their lore and their culture is very... There's not a lot of information on it, and the information that we do have is very hard to comprehend anyway. So yeah. The Veteran, welcome, buddy. Hope you are doing well. I'd like to see you playing a snow elf at some point. Yes, I'm an elven supremacist. Fight me. That's fine. I like elves too. Maybe at some point. That would probably require a mod that I don't have, so that would be a little more work to stand up, a little more barrier to entry than any of the vanilla races. But maybe at some point that would be cool. Let's see, I kind of added a bit of impurity to my thief build using dual wield daggers in close range instead of armed. Mostly because you can poison them. I also picked up a female Argonian. Yeah, so that might be a big difference between how you're playing the thief and how I'm playing the thief. I'm going off of what Classic Classes and Burst Signs Reimagined is saying. Let me get out of here. So my skills, my major skills that I have for the thief are going to be archery instead of alchemy. So we brought in archery over from the warrior stone and replaced alchemy. So we're not actually having any crafting skills, which is going to hurt a little bit, honestly. Not to say that I'm not going to use alchemy, but I'm not perking into it. And then we have light armor, which has always been a thief skill, sneak, which has always been a thief skill, lockpicking, pickpocket, and speech. So the only one we're not using out of the thief stone is alchemy, and that's because we're using archery instead. But all the other thiefy stuff we're using. I would agree with you. For a sneaky character, I would prefer to have daggers and poison over archery and I don't know, maybe light armor or something else. But that's you're getting into more assassin character than thief character at that point, I would say. I would say daggers and poison are more of an assassin combo. Magus is the master of snow elves, huh? Easy to play a snow elf? I know you did a big, long snow elf playthrough. I was worried that I was losing my taste, but wow, that actually hit me pretty hard. Okay. We're good. Yeah, actually, congestion is clearing up, the cough is going away. I don't know if it's just the Dayquil that I took earlier today or if I'm actually starting to feel better. Maybe I just had an allergy attack or something. But ironically, I was supposed to go get my flu and COVID shots later today, like right after the stream. So I'm not sure. I might have to reschedule that, but I'm not feeling bad at all right now. Maybe that's just because I'm talking and all the vibrations from the voice are getting up in there and loosening things up for me. I don't know. All right, so let's see. What are we doing here? All right, so as a thief, well, she's not actually kind of really flung into the whole thieving business yet. I gotta change my the female idol animation. They stand really far off to the side, and they cock their head all the way over to the side too. And I haven't played a female character in so long that I've never really seen it, and it never really bothered me. But now it's kind of bothering me a little bit. So she's not a thief right now, right? She's just an Argonian trying to make her way in Skyrim. And so she might be required to steal some things in order just to get by and make her own way. Now, before you enter the Thieves Guild, right, you're not going to have access to any fences or anything like that. So a lot of things that you steal are just going to be useless clutter that ends up in your inventory, and you can't sell it, so you end up just kind of dumping it somewhere. But there are some things that you can use. There are potions that you can steal and use, weapons that you can steal and use, armor that you can steal and use, and money You can steal and use money in this game, and it doesn't matter if that money is stolen. You can use it at any vendor. So maybe we'll go around here and just see if there are any empty houses or anything that we can duck into. Because we are penniless, actually, right? We don't want people to see us skulking around the neighborhood, so we're gonna do some sneaking around here, and we're gonna try to stay out of sight for this stuff. We need money because we need to be able to buy food. I do have Hunterborn running, so if we need to, we can hunt for our food, and we do have archery and sneak to be able to facilitate that. We're not going to be able to one-shot deer. Deer are going to be hard, but rabbits and foxes are good sources of food and fur. Ooh, the scroll we could use too. We got a healing potion, which we don't have any healing potions. We only have stamina potions, so the healing potions are good. True shot, we can take that. Mace we don't need. Hunting bow. That might be better than the bow that we have. We'll have to look. The alcohol, we're gonna leave him. Ooh, these eggs might be kind of tasty. We'll take those. All right. All right, so that was kind of an act of desperation, right? We found a house that was kind of removed from different places of the town, where we could hide and break in without too much hassle. Now, she did know that the town is bustling a little bit right now. It's the beginning of the day. People are, you know, the blacksmith is working. There are folks working at the mill over here. So she assumed that whoever was living there was probably working at the mill or the inn or the blacksmith or whatever. And she assumed that since this door was locked, that there was probably nobody home. So that was a little bit of an act of desperation. But now she's got some money that she can buy food if she needs to. She could stay at an inn for a night or two. She could buy some equipment if she needs to as well. Oh, we already do have a hunting bow. We didn't need another one. So that's good. And she does feel a little desperate. And I feel like we can sleep here, right? So we can use this camp if we need to as well, and the cooking stones. First order of business, though, I want to go get the thief stone. The thief stone. She's not going to go know where the thief stone is, but in terms of reconnaissance, she needs to know what her escape routes are, where she's going if she gets caught, and she doesn't think that the Nords here, the Nords and Imperials in Riverwood, are really going to give her a home here. So she needs to be able to branch out. And now that she's got a little bit of money, and she knows where some shops are, she knows where an inn is if she needs to use it, and she's got a source of water over here, she can start to expand her search outwards. So we're just going to follow the path over here, and we'll eventually run into the thief stone, but there are also wolves over here that I know about that she doesn't. Now, as an Argonian, we're not going to have any problem fleeing into the water, right? What is that? Is that a rabbit? It's definitely taking that rabbit down. Sorry, wind. What a shot. Yeah, Collex is... We'll just call her Cole. Cole sounds good. I like Cole. Which is short for collects many things. Cole has quite a talent for archery, it seems, right? All right, let me catch up on chat here. Oh, also getting older on Monday. Oh, you got a birthday coming up, huh, James? Happy early birthday, buddy. Odd, this one ages every day. There you go. Imperials figured out how to enchant gold to make it weightless, but not how to track larceny. Yeah, interesting, right? My thief build is a red guard for infinite bow zooming and sneak rolling. Yeah, okay, so that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Let me catch up on chat here, and then I'll get back to that, why I chose an Argonian. Yes to the rabbits, not to the foxes. Well, it turns out we encountered a fox or a rabbit first, but you know what? Might be a fox in the future here too. Rabbits are evil people. Binging with Babbits. You didn't pick up the thief stone as your birth sign option? I did, but the stones and the birth signs are different. Oh no, I went with shadow. Okay, so classic classes and birth signs reimagined. I went with the thief, and then for the birth sign, I went with shadow. I didn't go with thief because for the pickpocket, there are two options for pickpocket, right? You're either running the Artful Dodger, which is Gopher's pickpocketing sort of rebalance. And I'll probably not be using the 100% option on that. I'll probably cap that at like 98% or something just to keep the tension going of that pickpocketing encounter. Or you're running vanilla, in which case your pickpocket chance caps at 90%. Either way, in the end game, that thief sign with classic classes and burst signs reimagined is going to give you like a 10% easier or a boosted chance to your pickpocketing levels, which helps a lot early in the game. But for just more general purposes, I felt like being harder to detect, which will also go beyond skill level 100. It'll scale all the way through the game, and it's actually going to be more useful early on. Because whether or not you have a 20% chance to pickpocket something or a 30% chance to pickpocket it doesn't really change the tactics of it, right? You're probably going to get caught, and when you do, you got to deal with it, right? Artful Dodger is almost a necessity for a pure thief build. Yeah, I mean, think about it. They become so good, such expert thieves, that they really shouldn't fail, especially with Nocturnal's Boon. I agree. Nocturnal's Boon, like role-playing wise, once the curse is lifted, a supremely skilled thief should be able to pickpocket almost every time. I mean, depending on your interpretation, right? To me, having a 100% pickpocket, it might make sense for certain characters, like the very best pickpocket of all might be able to do it every single time. But then that kind of wipes out the funnest part of the thief, in my opinion, is that that tension of whether or not you're going to get caught and what you're going to do when you do get caught. That being said, I am not going to save scum. If I get caught pickpocketing or stealing something, I got to deal with the consequences. I'm going to force myself to do that. I would say probably most Skyrim players that do any kind of pickpocket at all, and this is mostly just most of you guys probably, if you're doing like a role play or something, you probably don't save scum very often, but definitely the meta on pickpocket is to save right before you try to pickpocket and then reload the save if you fail. You see it happen all the time, and if you're power gaming, that is kind of the way to do it. Oh, okay, now we see the wolves over there. Okay, doing a quick save here just in case something happens, but if I die, I'm holding that, and we'll have to deal with that. But let's see. If things go awry here, I can just jump into the water. I can cross the river to the other side. They can't attack while they're in the water. Somebody coughed at me. Who coughed? Oh, that might just be me getting thirsty. No, she's still good. Let's see. So, is the coin toss mod by Gopher 2 worth adding? In my opinion. The coin toss is cool, but it's like, I would just do a random number generator, just hop onto a website and do that so I don't have to, take up an ESL slot or whatever. It's a cool mod. I like it. It's something that he made more use of earlier on in his Thief playthrough. and then kind of abandoned it. I don't know why, but it was a really cool gameplay mechanic that he used. More immersive than going to another site and doing like a coin toss or a dice roll. You're worshipping Nocturnal using Winter Sun. Pickpocket is a necessity. Yeah, nice. I'm going to lurk for it. But yeah, I think my point is with the thief sign versus the... Crap, are they cutting me off? Getting some good archery levels here. Yeah, okay, wolves are tougher than I would have liked. Did take a good chunk out of them, though, with that sneak attack. I'm not seeing where the rest of these guys are. The website is not immersive. Neither are dice rolls. Yeah, I get you. My immersion. I do try to take a more minimalist approach to modding. I try to be very, very selective of the mods that I add, and if I add a mod, it's usually, you know, either it's gonna look a lot better if it's a visual mod than something I already have and I just can't do without it, or it's gonna add something very specific to the gameplay or address a complaint that I already had with it. Okay. Kind of hard to sneak in broad daylight here. Well, he found me again. I see ya. All right, so we took one of them out. Oh, I see another one up there. I don't have a ton of arrows. I only have 19 left. So we're going to have to be very stingy with what we choose to shoot, which is something that I probably should have thought of before I took on this fight. Way tougher than innocent rabbits, indeed. Hate that jump. I have it in my game too, and it looks so stupid. Okay, so I have the jump that I have is it's a good jump. It's a replacer. This looks good. I don't mind this one at all. The unsheathed jump is a little bit different because it is a jumping attack mod. I do have jump attacks enabled, and it reverts back to sort of a dummy placeholder animation for that. So the nice jumping animations that I have don't get shown if I have the or are you talking about the sneak jump that where it jerks the whole screen around? That is annoying, and that's part of the animation mod, I think. I always like the basic iron arrow quiver, whether from the base game, Amidian Born, or Elsopa's version. Yeah, and in fact, I think the base iron stuff is some of the best looking stuff, in my opinion, because it's small. It's all small and like realistically sized. A lot of stuff, once you go beyond iron, it's kind of like really overly sized in kind of a LARPy weird way. I completely missed on that one. Right in the butthole. Well, looks like the alpha got dominated that time. There's a new alpha in town. Oh, and here comes the last one. So 2 wolves and an alpha, I think. That should be it, right? Oh, damn it. No, he sees me now. Or maybe 3 wolves in an alpha. Because I killed 1 already. You're not gonna like this, buddy. One over there stuck on a tree. So right now, a little bit less thief and a little more hunter. But sometimes one is the other, especially in terms of being like a social pariah. You end up not spending a lot of time in these more populated cities. So at least early in the game, you end up playing more hunter than thief, but we'll get there. I'm just trying to get to the thief stone right now. Jumping attack causes it. Lexi's removing that mod in the 4th update. Oh, is there another issue with the jumping? Because I do like having the jumping attacks. Was there another issue with it other than just the animation looking dopey? Because for some like combat arcane archers, I kind of want to couple that with like the slow time eagle eye perk and the shadow dance with the triumvirate where you jump and you blink to another area. Coupling that with archery seems really fun to me. I do like having the jump attacks. Doesn't look perfect, but I like having the option there. Okay, so I have 2 regular wolves dead. There's 1 regular wolf, and then the alpha is up there somewhere too that we killed. Jumping attacks mod caused some issues with animations, let alone the slow time shout and zooms. Oh, okay, so maybe I'm not going to be able to use it how I was planning. We'll see. If it comes to that, I'll remove it myself too, but at the moment, I like having it. Good to keep an eye out for that stuff, though. Now, where is this last wolf? There's 1 left, and I think I can probably get him with... I can finish him off with just without a sneak attack at this point, or maybe 2. Oh, I hear him. There's the alpha. Oh, he detected me, but he hasn't completely seen me yet. Okay, so we were talking about somebody said they took red guard for the thief for the well, hold on, I gotta focus on this now. Oh, he's got full life. I don't like that. All right. That's how you do it, fellas and ladies. I've played a lot of combat archery, so it's nice to be able to fall back on those combat archery skills when you gotta. All right, let's go get that alpha wolf now. Will she use daggers? No daggers. So this is a pure thief, and in classic classes of Birth Signs and Reimagined, and I think in Oblivion also, daggers were not part of the thief's tool set. It was archery. Archery is the only kind of offensive source of damage output. Now with Ordinator, under the lockpicking tree, we got bear traps as well, which work really well with any kind of stealth character. So I might add some of that as just to add some variety to the gameplay, so it's not all just stealth archer all the time. All right, so we should be good on the roads now. How's my encumbrance doing? Still pretty good. Could you get that jump dash ability for free with Imperius? Yes. Yeah, okay, it does. It's a little harder to control though. It's kind of clunky in my opinion. And you can do that with, you can use that with a double jump too. So my acrobat build, one of my more favorite stealth archer builds that I played, it kind of leaned into that Khajiit Pounce, I think it's called Pounce, gameplay mechanic. And then I had a double jump that I added as an acrobat anyway, so that you get like the huge dash forward, and then at the end of the dash you could jump again and get another huge dash. And I was like bridging these huge chasms and things like that. It was really cool. It was a very kind of unique way to play the game. And then being able to get like on top of roofs and stuff to escape enemies was a very acrobatic like way to deal with the escape problem. Okay. So we don't want to expand our search radius too much here. We don't want to get too far from civilization in case we need to buy supplies or food or get water or whatever. But she is curious, collects many things, does like to collect things, and usually the best places to collect things from are things where there's signs of civilization. And so these steps here have her very curious. Oh, she's getting seen. Now, an angry looking orc with a mace is a lot more threatening than a few wolves. But she really, really wants to see what's in there. Okay. Let's see if we can't flank them. Get up there. Can't get in from the other side though. So we'll do that. Technically you can punch as well. Okay, let me catch up here. And say Redguard Requiem. Ooh, cool. Still figuring or filling out a few things and porting some LE mods for this one. Oh, cool. So you're getting about to the end of the line on Athralor then, huh? Athralor 2. Current character I've been doing is a Dunmer Vampire Nightblade. Always fun. Technically, but yeah, punch is light armor, so we could do unarmed if we want to, but I don't know. That would add some things to it, but I feel like if you add unarmed to a build, then it becomes an unarmed build, first and foremost. Just because it is so strong. And I want to try to avoid those common pitfalls and really just focus on the thief stuff, you know? What makes the thief the thief? And then from there, I can do more hybrid builds, more hybridized builds. Like a monk character is a sneak archer. A monk is a sneak archer with hand-to-hand combat. Unarmed combat. Okay. Now, this is going to be tricky. I can get a sneak shot here. The terrain here... Oh, geez. The terrain here is going to be tricky because a lot of time the collision detection on these slanted skinny poles is a lot bigger than what it looks like. So there's a chance that I could you know, aim this perfectly, but I'm still going to get stuck in the air right beside, the arrow's going to get stuck in the air right beside that pillar. So I do need an escape route here. I'm just going to dodge roll my scared ass right out the entrance here, and then try to head down to the water if things go wrong. Hopefully it won't come to that. We'll see. I do have a level up on.
What was that?
There we go. Okay. That works. You know, luck is a big part of being a thief, but sometimes it doesn't hurt just to be damn good at what you do, right? One of my favorite things about the Oblivion Thief class was always the pacifistic nature of it, to be honest. Yeah, kind of, because it gives you an alternate way to play the game. You end up playing the game much differently than other classes that are focused on what you do in a fight. The Thief class is pretty much the only one where you focus on... Your main focus is something other than combat. So you end up playing it very differently, and I think for that it ends up being a lot of people's favorite way to play. Because you get so used to combat in this game, then all of a sudden now you're playing a non-combat class and you're like, oh wow, this is like a completely different game. He became powerful, like I suspected, and of course once that happens on Legendary, it's only a matter of time. Yeah, where you're not really playing the game anymore, you're just kind of watching the character mow through everything without a challenge. I get it. Plus, it was nice to not use Sneak on a Dunmer vampire and go with poison disease spells and summons and skeletons instead of raised dead. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it gives you a little more variability in what you can do as far as the summons and being able to cast those things everywhere.
The entrance isn't exactly hidden, you know.
This again?
Okay, here we go.
Someone standing guard out there.
Taking the torch to darken things up. Now, tactically on this, these two guys are going to split up. One of them is going to go to sleep in their sleeping role over there. The other one's going to patrol on that little balcony over there. So I'm waiting for them to completely split up because I don't want to fight them both at the same time. This guy, once he gets over here, I'm going to shoot him, and then I'm going to retreat back into the darkness. So I am going to make this darker. Wow, that did get a lot darker, didn't it? Okay, he's there now. So once he comes to a stop, shoot him once, and then make my exit. Oh my god, I can't see anything now. Where the hell am I? Oh, here we go. Too dark. Okay, now we've reset detection on here, and we should be good now in one more shot. And then we'll be down to one bad guy. Got a kill cam. Nice. Really should attempt pickpocketing their stuff before killing them. If they get alerted, then make your getaway. Yeah, I haven't gotten into the pickpocket stuff. That's going to be a roleplay choice once we get to the Thieves Guild. Right now, she's just trying to make ends meet. Wow, one shot. Okay, good. All right, we're getting there. So right now I can... So I'm gonna need archery, right? I'm gonna need it because the game does put you in situations where you cannot avoid armor, or you cannot avoid combat. So I want to get those bases built up while I can, and this is part of that. I'm struggling to find a roleplay reason why she would go out of her comfort zone into this place. But for gameplay reasons and like sort of strategy reasons, I need Ember Sharp Mind because I need iron ingots to craft arrows. And I need levels. I need experience, right? We're not getting into the pickpocketing stuff just yet. I'm trying to look for a good story reason to do that, to start doing that. And it will be gold at first. Let's see here.
Your eyes peeled. I don't think we're alone.
Is someone
You
there?
check the entrance. I'm going to look over here.
Oh, it is really dark in here, huh?
I guess I was just hearing things. Is someone there?
No, no one's here. I can't see shit. This is so dark. Here we go. I like having werewolf on my thief characters because when you get discovered, the enemies will regret it. Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the Argonian choice over something like Redguard, where you have infinite stamina to use with their zoom and stuff like that. So the Argonian was not the best tactical choice to use for the thief. You do get some skill bonuses to the thief's skills, like light armor, I think pickpocket, sneak and things like that. So that does help. But in terms of like the racial abilities, it's more really geared toward open combat, right? Things like the Khajiit get more things that are more thief oriented. What else? Like dark elves and stuff will get some cool stuff to use with thief characters, and Bosmer as well. So Argonian was really more of a roleplay choice. I had an idea for the character, and I wanted her to be a very pariah-based character at first, somebody who's not welcome in towns, who has to, who is kind of forced to resort to thievery instead of choosing to resort to thievery. And the Argonian really fit that bill really well. But in terms of Imperious racial abilities, she's got the acid spit, which causes magicka and armor, magic resistance and physical resistance through armor to be decreased. So if we do get into a straight up combat situation with her, the acid spit will help reduce their defenses so that we can pelt them more strongly with the arrows at that point. And then also the his skin stuff, where the more health and stamina you lose, the more the regeneration rates increase on that. So again, in those open combat times where you're forced to do it, we're going to have more survivability, and that kind of ties in with your werewolf transformations there too. When you do get caught, you transform into your combat mode. The Argonians are going to have a little bit of an advantage there too. So maybe not as pure as a pure thief, not maybe pure, but the thief does need to fight sometimes too, and at least now we know that she's not going to make for easy prey. We'll say it that way. Argonian is greater than Redguard race-wise. I think they're both really interesting for kind of different reasons. The lore and backstory on the Redguards are just fascinating to me. Argonians too, but let's get out of the light over here. But there's a lot more mystery wrapped up in the Argonians and the Hist and everything. They do have backstory and stuff, but there's a lot not known about the Argonians, and that gives you a little more freedom to roleplay the race a little bit more. and make up your own shit. Oh my god. It's so dark in here. I don't remember it being this dark, honestly.
I'll never do another span in that stinking jail. I didn't do myself.
No rust.
Make a quick escape via water, which is the Argonian bread and butter. Wish there were more water. The more water there is on the map, the better the Argonian's going to be. But there are some main rivers that you can kind of gravitate toward, and of course the Sea of Ghosts, the shoreline up there. But tactically, Argonians have a lot of advantage if you have water around, so I think it would be kind of a cool role-play, gameplay mechanic of trying to center your travel around where there's water. So instead of following the paths, maybe I'll be following waterways and things like that. So I need a roleplay reason to get to Riften, because once I get to Riften, that unlocks a lot of stuff for a thief, right? You get all of your skill training. Excuse me. You get all of your skill training that you need for every single one of the thief's major skills. You got your archery, light armor. You got Grelka up above the cistern, but you got all your thief skills. You got your pickpocket, lockpicking. Oh, and then you got to go to the Bard's College for the speech stuff. But the important stuff... Ooh, almost got caught there. The most important stuff you have ready to go in the cistern right there. Now, talking about waterways and stuff... Let's see here. I guess, yeah, technically, I could follow the White River to the falls over here, and then naturally she'll want to see where the where these falls are being fed from, and then that will lead her up here to Iverstead. And I don't know what this lake is called. Anybody know what the lake is called in Iverstead? I know Honrick is Riften. And then there's a river, and I don't know what this river is called, but then there's another lake over here, which I guess could technically be considered part of that river. But it looks more like a lake to me. So from here, we could follow the river to the east toward Riften, and then we could get in with the Thieves Guild there. So I kind of like that, just following the waterways. And right now, we can check out Lake Ilinalta and all the points of interest along there. Lake Geir or Gear for Geirmond or Gearmond. I see. I have to ask, why do you hold the level ups? So I use those tactically. If I'm playing hard difficulty levels, like legendary, especially at level 1 to earlier levels, I'll hold on to them because when you level up, you get a refill of all your attributes. So you get full up on your health, your stamina, and your magicka, and that's just kind of muscle memory at this point. Geirmund's Hall was named after the river, the other way around. I got it. Okay. So that's just kind of muscle memory from playing on high difficulty levels at low character levels. You kind of want that that refresh of your health, stamina, and magicka in your back pocket when you need them. Now, because of that, I end up often holding them for a lot longer than I need to. And then end up just leveling them up at a trainer instead. Trying to get him in a place where I can shoot him in the shadows. Here we go, getting better at the sneak archery thing. In the book The Lost Legends about Galder, it explains a bit about the lake and Gyreman's Hall, etc. Okay, I have read that before, but just didn't stick, I guess. I'm back. What have I missed? Well, I don't know when you left, Arashi, but we talked about the different game announcements at the PlayStation Direct last week. New Ghost of Tsushima coming. The new little animated short that BGS put out for Shattered Space that comes out on Monday. We did a mod showcase of some cool stuff that some people hadn't seen yet, including that armor rebalance mod, which I thought was really cool. And then we did a showcase of the Panicked Monks channel. Go check that out. Dragon's Tongue, we could use that. Argonians get a toxic spit. Is that a consideration? Yeah, that is a consideration for the straight up combat stuff. I doubt that I will ever use that because I think it does trigger detection if you use that. I don't think it's silent, although that would be something fun to experiment with. Now the unlock, the racial quest to unlock that caustic spit is a little more restrictive than a lot of the other races. I think you have to loot 10 underwater chests, and that can be a little harder than it seems because you have to actually find those. Okay, I see him out there. Let's take care of him now while he's still.
Huh?
Whereas a lot of the races, the other races, you kind of just unlock them naturally. Like the Altmer, you just harvest 10 butterfly wings or something like that, and you get access to the most powerful racial ability in Imperius, in my opinion. And some of them are a lot harder, or a lot more grindy. The Argonian one isn't particularly hard. It's just a matter of, you know, finding 10 chests underwater to loot. And I suspect that people who play a lot of Argonians will know exactly where to find those. Or is it only 4? Lake Ilinalta has all of them? I know there's 1. I didn't know it had actually 4 of them. 4 underwater chests, actually. You can get a few in Ilinalta, the lake you're next to. Yeah, I knew of 1 in Ilinalta. I didn't know that there were several. Hey, Karn. Yes, you see above. The last one you remember was the Veilguard showcase? Oh man, okay, so I see somebody walking around over there. I'm trying to wait for this doofus right here to getting impatient. That's an impatient thief is a dead thief, so I gotta learn to be more patient. It looks like something might be interrupted in their patrol though, because they usually don't stay there that long, right? So you could get them all now. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. So yeah, that was the plan anyway, was to explore the Ilinalta area. Why not pickpocketing? It would be fun watching you running. Oh, we'll do that once we get into a city. How about that? Yeah, this guy's not going anywhere. This guy's bugged, I think. Okay, they're gonna go investigate that spot up there, not where the shot came from.
Nothing here after all.
By this, There's a killer about. What was that?
Did they see me? Ooh. No, I think we're good. She's just resetting back to her forge spot.
Here after all.
That other guy, I don't know why he became angry all of a sudden. Okay. So we're gonna wait for her to go back. Then we're gonna do a pot shot on her. Now the hit detection on this gets a little wonky depending during this animation. Sometimes a lot of times actually, I'll miss the body altogether and just hit the forge behind her. So I'm gonna do a pot shot here, and then I'm gonna dip into the shadows down on the level under there. So when she's like running up here to try to find me up here, I can be using the other walkway over here to reset my position. So that is the tactic I'm using here. Oh, one shot her. Yeah. I guess there's that.
Kill him to get some beer every now and then.
Now, can I get this guy from here? Does not seem to have a clear line of fire. This guy is going to be a little tougher. I might just be forced to cheese him. First of all, I can't see him very well, if at all. Definitely worth it early on because, let's be honest, late game you won't use it or forget you have it. That's pretty fair. Unless I specifically make it part of my combat loop, which I just might. But late game stealth archer, you're very rarely going to get into open combat situations anyway, so you might just be right on that. In fact, let's face it, you probably are right on that.
Just hand over the gold. But did you listen? Oh no.
Okay.
Always have to fight back.
Oh, that guy went down. Oh, I was gonna say that guy went down easy, but... Oh, I'm out of arrows, no!
Time to end this little game.
I might be able to bash him though. I'm gonna have to. Oh, this is gonna suck. Let's see. Can I get an arrow off of her? No. Coming this way, huh? Oh, and he's got a two-hander too. Crap. All right. Well, at least now I can go grab some arrows off of the other archer over here. Man, I knew I was running low. This is why I wanted Ember Shard, because I need crafting materials in order to make more arrows. Okay, now I have more arrows, but I do have to equip them. Oops.
There you are. You won't leave Skyrim alive.
Probably not, but today will not be that day, friend. It's a solid ability early on is only why I mention it now. Yeah, no, good call. And I think that would actually fit this character in the roleplay really well too. I don't want to dip right into Riften right away and start doing the thief stuff. Although next time I play this character, I definitely will be doing the thief stuff then. But right now we're at a more of origin stories phase of the character. She's just a lone Argonian, you know, scared and underpowered in a hostile world, and she's doing whatever she can to make ends meet. That is going to lead to a certain level of desperation where, you know, she's not going to have much of a moral platform to keep her from going full on into the Thieves Guild and becoming rich because of it. Because she knows the injustices of being poor and destitute and unwanted in a hostile land. Okay. Nice. Got some stamina poison there. Stamina is important in Wildcat. So that makes stamina poisons more valuable, but I would almost always just rather take the direct damage of a health poison than than using that slot to do anything. Oh, I need a pickaxe. To do anything other than just direct health damage. At the end of the day, the faster you kill the enemy, the less damage they're going to do to you. And, you know, the less damage they do to you, the longer you stay alive, and the harder it is to actually die. So, that's the name of the game for me. You can use scrimshaw, some of the animal bone arrows. Yes, indeed. But my hunter-born stuff is very low. I don't think I can craft bone arrows from just a couple of small animal bones. Maybe I'll need some firewood or some dead wood in order to do that, most likely. How's my encumbrance doing? It's getting up there, but not too bad. Was hoping for dual wield, not stealth archer. Well, yeah, I mean, sorry to disappoint. But a pure thief does not dual wield. In terms of the actual class, the Elder Scrolls thief class, they do not use one-handed at all. And their only mode of offense is the archer. Is archery. Dagger and axe. Yeah, I do want to do a dual wield build, and I think I'm going to save that for the barbarian because that does hit all the boxes, right? And with the barbarian, which I wanted to do orc, he has the ground stomp, which creates a stagger and even knockdowns, and then that can create a huge opportunity for getting in with the dual wield with a dagger in the left hand, an axe in the right hand, do a lot of bleed damage, a lot of burst damage. Yeah, so I do want to do a dual wield build, but the thief is, at least in my opinion, the thief is not the place for that. The thief is more of a focused on things other than combat. I'd like to see a gunner like Icarus build in the old Vampire series by the Assassin, not the Blood Knight. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that guy's name was, but he was like everybody's favorite. The Redguard vampire with the muskets. Damn. I don't remember the guy's name, but that's definitely a classic character that everybody loved. Kind of had the same like southern drawl as Couch Warriors Ranger. I can't remember that guy's name either. He was another favorite. Okay, we need the iron because we need to make some arrows. Hasim Dragos, yes, that's the one. Thanks, Aster. Aster's got a good memory for these things. Hasim, superior to Parker, remembers him too. Yeah, like I said, everybody loved Hasim. That was a great character. I looted everything out of there, didn't I? Yes, I did. Is the mining just to sell the ore? No, the mining is to get the iron for the for arrow crafting. Once I get out of here and I get to Whiterun and I'm able to get the iron ingots, then I'm gonna have pretty much all of the iron arrows I'm ever gonna need for the rest of the playthrough. So that's why this was a priority, because I am very low on arrows. I did run out of arrows at the end there, and now I only have 17 left. I guess I could buy some more, which I might have to before I get to Whiterun, because Falkreath doesn't have a smelter, and neither does Riverwood. I think the closest smelter is in Whiterun. Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about the leveling. I'm just not going to use any perks outside of the pure series. So my pure thief is going to be different than maybe like a slack attack, major slack, or a boon 23 pure build challenge run. I'm just not going to put any perks into those. I will use crafting, but I'm not putting any perks into it, like smithing. I'll smith up some arrows. It'll level. Fine, whatever. I'm not too concerned about that. But I'm not going to get any steel arrows out of it, right? It's only going to be iron arrows. To me, that's balanced. not a problem there. I'll also be able to temper some unenchanted armor, but once I get into the Thieves Guild, I'm going to be using the Thieves Guild armor, and we're not going to be able to temper that stuff anyway, so that's balanced. And then alchemy, I'll be using that to level up alchemy. I'll be creating some paralysis poisons at some point, which isn't very balanced, but I'll try to avoid using those as much as possible. But typically I just use those to sell off and get gold for training. You gonna join the dog guard to obtain stronger crossbow? Stagger will be useful. Yes, I do want to use some crossbows. And I am running a mod that makes it so that I don't actually have to join the Dawn Guard to get the crossbow. And then also in the AE edition, you do have access to crossbows that outside of the Dawn Guard. So I'm running the AE crossbows as well. In fact, I could go to Solitude and just steal one of them at any point. Riverwood has a smelter near the woodcutter. I don't think so. That's got to be okay. It's JK's. I'm not running JK's. It's not in the base game. Riverwood does not have a smelter. I would be willing to bet you $10,000 that it don't. Not default. That's a mod. Yeah. If anybody knows of a closer smelter, there is one at it's the housing mod. Oh geez, Ryek's End. It's the cave house mod that I like. That one has everything there, but that's kind of cheating a little bit, and it gives me one less reason to go to Whiterun actually. So I'll have to do that at some point. For now, though, I'll probably head back to Riverwood. I'll sell off the loot that I have, and I'll buy some iron arrows straight up. That will get me around Ilinalta. That should give me enough ammo to get around Ilinalta. There are going to be some wolves and some slaughterfish to take care of. The closest smelter will be in Riften. I think Whiterun's a lot closer than Riften. Other than that, Whiterun or Falkreath? Does Falkreath have one? I'm not remembering a smelter in Falkreath. There's a smelter right outside Whiterun in the CC Homestead. Yeah, I'm not running that one because I need to patch the grass on it. I'll add it back in once I get around to opening it up in the CK and removing the grass around it. But right now with the grass mods that I have, it makes those plots like almost unusable because I can't see a damn thing. So there's the Tundra Homestead, and then there's like the farm. There's the regular house that has the plantable plots right outside it that you can use in AE. And then there's also the farm, the ranch that you get that has a ton of plantable. I'm gonna save this one for later when we actually do some power leveling later in the playthrough. We'll start gathering our skill books at level 90 or so. Affingar. Oops, Whiterun from where you're at. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I don't remember there being a smelter in Falkreath either, though. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's been a long time since I've done a vanilla Falkreath. But my Falkreath is vanilla right now. Wasn't there a mod that lets you pick up books instead of yes, there is. I'm not running that one, but I probably should. I think there was one without an SKSE requirement that allowed you to crouch to pick it up, and then you could just pick it up. It worked on all books, not just skill books. It would pick it up instead of actually reading it if you were crouched. That's the old mainstay one, but I'm sure there are some SKSE ones now that give you a choice between reading it or just putting it in your inventory when you interact with it. Okay. I think I've gotten all the rest of them. Let's take one more quick run through, make sure I got everything down the halls and everything, but I think I got everything. And then there are a couple more outside. Falkreath Smelter is in the blacksmith area in the base game. It is? Okay, then that's just me being mistaken. We have 2 corroborating reports of a smelter in Falkreath. Which, if we're going around Ilinalta, that might be the closest one. Ooh, there's another arrow. Could use that. Fly Amanita. There's another one over here that I think I've already looted. Yes, indeed. And then the other stuff in that first area, I do have an explicit memory of doing that, so I think we're good. Auto loot mod that does that for you. Nice, nice. I don't know. I kind of like some of the tedium of doing the materials gathering and stuff like that. It's kind of... It's very RPG-like, right? Nothing will make you feel like you're playing an RPG more than inventory management. So I don't want to completely get rid of that and just have everything done auto, but I can totally understand and respect why some people would. Just get all that busy work out of the way. But for me, a lot of the prep work and everything is kind of like a big part of the identity of playing an RPG and specifically like a Bethesda game, which tend to be very crafting heavy. Now, supposedly there is a third ore vein over here, but I have never been able to find it. There are the 2 right outside of the exit. And supposedly there's a third one that's kind of hidden, but even with like the third person selection mod that just auto selects the closest thing to you, I've never been able to find that. Maybe it's against a wall or something over here. I don't know. It doesn't really make a huge difference either way, I guess. Okay, let's head back to Riverwood. We'll sell off some stuff. We'll buy some more arrows, and then we'll explore Ilinalta. Maybe we'll head to Falkreath. We also might be able to create some bandolier pouches or something to create or to increase our encumbrance, because we're gonna get real heavy here carrying this ore around with us. It's near the feet of the mountain. Okay, I'll go back and find it at some point. Use it for future reference. So it is more against like the cliff face of the mountain, and not with the rest of them outside of the exit to the dungeon. Alright, let's see first if we have anything that we can upgrade. It looks like the fur bracers are a little better than the hide bracers, just by a bit, so we'll use that. Hide boots of dodging moves 5% faster, definitely using that. And the studded leather armor. We'll go with the more covered stuff. How does that look? That looks pretty good. I like the darker one better.
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
Only need 1 axe. The iron dagger we're keeping around for hunting. I do need a dagger to be able to do the hunter-born stuff. Fur helmet, how is this compared to the hide helmet I have? So 9 armor versus 12 armor. Yeah, the fur helmet's not nearly as good. Okay, I think that's about it for that. See what kind of arrows this guy's got. Does he have any steel? He does have some steel arrows. Nice. buy the steel arrows, so I don't have to steal arrows. But and how about some bows? Just the hunting bow, the same one that I have. All right. And we may as well also go into the Riverwood Trader here and get the quest for Bleak Falls Barrow. I think I want to do the Ilinalta stuff first.
I don't know what you overheard, but some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
We'll craft up a physics-enabled cloak. We don't need this one. Firewood we can use for arrows. Let's see here. The amber we're not going to be able to use for quite some time. And since we're not specializing in smithing anyway, we'll never be able to craft anything out of it. We can sell some of that. It's pretty valuable. We'll definitely be using the Amulet of Kinnereth because of the stamina. Might use some of that potion. I don't know. I'd rather have the money right now than the poison, so we'll get rid of that. All kinds of stuff I can cook. Do you have any salt, though? He doesn't have any salt. Maybe I can get some salt at the Sleeping Giant. I got some jewels. Okay, we'll craft some more arrows out of the iron ingots and the firewood that we have, and then we'll take off toward Ilinalta / Falkreath.
Damn thieves. As if things weren't bad enough. The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store.
Did something happen? Okay, so she hears some grumblings about thieves, and so now she's getting a little spooked. She didn't steal anything from this guy, but if there's word going around that there's a thief in town, she might be kind of spooked. So let's get some more information for this.
We did have a...
Oh, great build comes to mind. An artificer build that uses handguns.
We still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing.
I mean, you can also break down iron items into
solid
ingots and
gold
craft
in the
said
shape of a
ingots
dragon's
back into
claw.
arrows. You can do that. I'm not running Ars Metallica, though, so they would have to be immersive armors, immersive weapons.
You could?
Which does have
some
that same
coin
feature,
coming
but
in from
only
my
for the
last
items
shipment.
that is
It's
included.
yours if you bring my claw back.
Yeah, I purposely excluded Ars Metallica for just that reason. I like the vanilla
this is
arrow
your
crafting
plan,
better
Logan?
than the Ars Metallica one, and I'm sure there's a patch somewhere to use the vanilla arrow crafting with Ars Metallica, but also just because of the crafting loops that you can do between breaking things down and crafting them kind of upsets balance a little bit in this game. Not that I need to be overly concerned with balance, because the balance of the base game is broken as hell. The balance in Ordinator and Nyrim is also broken as hell. Although I would probably argue that the balance is better with an Nyrim.
We have to go through town and across the bridge.
It just
to get to
skews
Bleak Falls
stronger,
Barrow.
right?
You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings.
But balance is more of a consideration with a
Those
lot of the
thieves must
Nyrim
be
overhauls
mad hiding
than
out
it
there.
was in the vanilla
Those
game, I
old
think.
crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Should be getting paid tomorrow, plus moving out into my own apartment on the first. Ooh, striking out on your own, huh? Exciting times. I loved living on my own.
I wonder why they only stole
My
Lucy's golden
my
claw.
wife is gonna get mad
I mean, we
hearing
have
that,
plenty
but
of things in the shop that are worth just as much coin.
if you treat it
Lucan
correctly,
found the claw about a year after they opened the
living on your
store.
own can
He
be
never quite
like
explained where he got it.
the biggest period of growth in your life, of personal growth. You really find out who you are as a person outside of other people when you live on your own. Now, at some point, you're going to get to a point where you've grown as much as you can in isolation, and you need other people in your life to
This is the bridge out of
continue
town.
progressing
The
as a
path up the
person.
mountain to the northwest
That's
leads
when
to
I
Bleak Falls
started,
Barrow.
um,
I guess I should get back to my brother.
putting my name in the hat on the
He'll throw a
dating
fit
sites
if
and
I
stuff,
take too long.
and tried to,
He's such a child.
get a lifelong relationship that way. And I did, and it was awesome. But I wouldn't trade in those times alone, those times that I was living on my own, for anything else in the world. They're very formative. If you've never lived alone, I would highly suggest doing it. It it's a great way to grow as a person, I'll say. At a shelter at the moment? Oh, okay. So that's that would be a big upgrade for you. I gotcha. Is Bethesda undergoing an update? When I try to pull my Xbox mod list, says error loading. Interesting. Well, no, the Bethesda Net modding site goes down all the time. It's crappy, especially on Xbox. That thing crashes constantly. It doesn't mean that. At least I don't think it stops you from playing. There are ways to work around it. I don't remember off the top of my head what it is. But there are ways to get back into your stuff without being able to connect to the. Yeah, Bethesda Net is garbage. It is. It's very bad. That stuff goes down all the time. If you haven't seen it much, then you're lucky. But I would see it all the time, even just playing on my PS5. There is a way around it. I just don't remember what it was. Okay, so here we are at Ilinalta. So like I said, there are going to be some wolves and some slaughterfish to watch out for. But there are also some points of interest around here that I want to get on my map. And there's also a hidden hideout over here somewhere too. And I want to find that. It would be a good place to put things like my iron ore and stuff. I think there's some safe storage in these hideouts that I could use as secure drop locations too, for if I'm trying to loot Falkreath or something like that. As a thief, I can go put like drop some backup weapons and my gold and some hot items into a drop box, a safe drop location in at this hideout over here before I go do some risky thieving business over in Falkreath or Riverwood or whatever. Oh. Okay, we got to balance the scales a little bit. Last time made Wind unhappy and Magus happy, and now Wind's going to be happy and Magus will be unhappy. It wasn't Six, but it might have been one of Six's friends. Oh, and 1 terabyte NVMe. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Buy moderate PC for half an Xbox. Enjoy PC modding freedom is the workaround. I don't think those price scales hold up as well as they did. PC gaming has gotten more expensive and consoles have kind of gotten cheaper relatively. But yeah, I mean, if you don't mind playing like last generation games or older games and that's all you're trying to do, then yes, the PC hardware is going to be much better value for you, and you get to enjoy all the mods, right? Like you said. So there is a very much an increased value proposition to be had there. For me, if I had $500 to blow, and that was my budget, I would definitely go for a mid to low tier gaming PC over a console. You're just going to get more experiences that way. You're not going to be able to experience a lot of the newer games with some of the better graphics settings that you would maybe on a PS5. But you're gonna have just a wealth of older games to, you know, on Steam or whatever. Here's the flooded cellar. This is the hideout I was talking about. And you also get access to all the modding that you would get. Yep, Ryzen 7, 1660 Ti, and 16 gigs of RAM, and you're good to go. Yeah, for Skyrim, that's gonna be a tough call for things even like Fallout 4 and Starfield. If you're trying to play those games on that, that's gonna be, you're gonna have a tough go of it. But for Skyrim, that's fine, not a problem. SKSE and Sky UI, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even on a laptop, like Haster is saying. I played Skyrim on a laptop. because I was able to mod it on that, and I was able to actually fiddle with the settings. It was actually underpowered compared to a PlayStation 4, but I was able to fiddle with the settings to get a fairly solid 60 FPS, and I was also able to get all the mods on there too. Let's see, is any of this stuff safe storage? I don't know that it actually needs to be safe storage. I think it is though. But if I'm just using it for a temporary safe drop, then I think it's fine. But you also get a cooking station in here and everything too, and it's actually a safe space to rest or whatever. With those specifics, I have 60 FPS solid and 2K res mods. Yeah, excellent. Oh, we got wolves. We got woofs. Where are they? Oh, there he is. He got hung up on the ruins there. Oh, criminy. Okay, three bites from a regular wolf and I'm dead, guys. Was that the only one? Yeah, okay. How's encumbrance? Still okay on encumbrance. Okay, let's see. So I'm looking for the first chest over here. There's a slaughterfish in the same area, and that is the exit to Bleak Falls Barrow, which is closer to the east side of the lake, I believe. Right around here. And in fact, you can see some of the standing stones over there coming up out of the water. This is the one I know about. Folon, for example, is pushing both the CPU and the GPU. Yeah. Okay, there is a slaughterfish. Oh yeah, you can actually see the slaughterfish right there too. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to one-shot him. Maybe. No, definitely not. And he already sees me. Why am I not getting sneak shots? Alright, whatever. 4 shots. I don't know why I didn't get a sneak shot in there. I'm definitely not detected, and he definitely was not aggroed. There's another one right there too. Okay, I might be able to get in and out without taking too much damage though. I think as an Argonian I can outswim a slaughterfish even. Let's try it. Got some fire arrows in there too. Oh yeah, we are quick. Look at that. Don't think he's hiding. Maybe he is. Yeah, he's down underneath. Anyway, we don't need to kill. How do we get 90? Oh yeah, we bought them all. Okay, so we're good on arrows for now. He's definitely hiding. Okay, so that's one of them. God damn it. Yeah, so PC has all kinds of stuff. So there are modding guides, which will actually guide, like Lexi's guide, Step, 2Go guide was one of them back in the day. They will actually teach you how to mod as you go through step by step the modding process, which is what I think most of us probably would recommend that you do. But there is also Wabbajack, where you can go and install that. It's an app that you install on your desktop, and it'll go through and it'll install all the mods for you for a very like specific and heavy mod list. And there are a bunch of mod lists to choose from on Wabbajack, but you're not going to learn anything that way. And then there's also, let's see, I think that there was also like a hidden cache or something under here, but I need the map to go on that. There was also Nexus Collections, which will install mods for you, and I think Nulvis, it has a guide that you can go through step by step, and he also has an auto installer that will work for that. You have access to all that stuff on PC that you don't have access to on Xbox. And like Magus said, there's also loot, LOOT. It's like load order optimization tool or something like that that will actually go through and order most of your mods for you. It will put some things out of place, but for the most part, it'll get everything right. And then it has ways to set rules and things so that you can fix your load orders going forward, so you don't have to think about it when you hit that loot button. You just don't have any of those options in Xbox and everything. The only things that you can do to mitigate load orders in Xbox is put one mod on top of another. A fox over there. Yeah, it's simple, but it's not always easy, right? If there's no patch, then you have to go without features in one mod if the other mod is winning. And there's also no ways of mitigating issues and conflicts and everything once you do encounter one. So yeah, simple, but very limited. Valhalla Rising. Soul What? Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see here. One near the Lady Stone in that sunken ship is another. Yes, yes, okay. And I shouldn't have to worry about slaughterfish at all because I'm very fast in the water. Okay, collects many things is going to be able to just outrun any slaughterfish in the water. So we should just be good to just explore here, right? Oh, look, my lantern works underwater, too. What's that for immersion? Yeah, the hidden one, I need to find the treasure map for. And that is, like, right around, like, here. Like, right off this little cape. This little thing that juts out into the water. It's, like, right here. But I need the map. Okay, where the hell am I going? Lady Stone. Let's go find the Lady Stone. Physics mods are their own little loophole as they require a bunch of mods in order to work. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mess with those at first. They changed the way the game feels too. Oh shoot, I forgot about these damn werewolves. Okay, the sunken ship is off the southwest side of this island. Yeah, there's the mast right there. We'll find it. I know a lot of you know exactly where this chest is. And you're probably screaming at the screen right now where it actually is. But I don't know. I hardly ever come down here for this one. Not seeing any chests yet. I bypassed it? Oh, water breathing, amazing, isn't it? Yes, it is. I've played enough vampires to get the experience from them, but don't like the stamina drain, but okay, is it on the ship half from where my current perspective is? Is it on the ship half on the left or the ship half on the right? I didn't see it anywhere on the left. Oh, there it is. I got it. Never mind. We're good. Okay, so there's 2. And I don't think they technically have to be chests, right? They can be any container. I guess they have to be chests. Yeah, chance. 2 down. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I played hundreds of hours on my PS3, which is objectively the worst way to play this game. I played hundreds of hours there before I came to PC, and I think it was Sorcerer Dave's playthrough of Leonidas, I believe, that made me actually want to get into modding Skyrim. I saw all the stuff that... I hear a slaughterfish around here somewhere. Now all of a sudden my... Okay, I guess my lantern was working. Yeah, I was watching a Sorcerer Dave Let's Play, and I was seeing all the stuff that he could do in his game with PC modding, and yeah, I was like, okay, I gotta switch over to PC. So then I bought like a little Alienware Alpha on sale, and that thing benchmarks about the same as a PS4. And I was able to install all kinds of mods on that thing, and it was really opened the door for me. I ran Step on that one, even though it was really underpowered for that mod list. I still learned a lot about modding on that one. And then I got a 1080 Ti pre-built machine after that. And then I'm actually running the same the same Windows install, the same SSD, main SSD from that machine on my new rig. I've been able to keep Windows up and running in a good way for all this time. No problemo. Never had to reinstall Windows. So this technically is still that iBuyPower machine in some way. Oh, we got a map. Okay, cool. Let's take a look-see. Yes, I trust Magus. I probably shouldn't, but I do trust him. Okay, Treasure Chest X. This one is, this is the hidden one that doesn't show up unless you have Treasure Map X, and I don't really know where to get that, and it probably will take us far out of our way anyway. This actually isn't showing the one that I just grabbed. It's not showing the one over here either. Where is the... Zoom in, zoom out, doesn't... There's got to be like a key or something, right? They can filter things out on. Yeah, it's not showing. Scroll in? I'm all the way scrolled in now. I can't scroll in any farther. The zoom in is disabled, so I'm zoomed all the way in. It's not showing the one here. Superior to Parker, enjoy your nap, okay? Thanks for joining. I'm scrolling in. Maybe they don't show up. Yeah, it did show the hidden one over here, but I have to have Treasure Map X in order to get that to even appear. Those ones don't appear until you get the maps. Did you get the one by the sunken fort too? I didn't get the hidden one because I don't have the map yet. I didn't know that there was one over here. You're talking about Ilinalta's Deep? Might be 2 of them by there. Okay, I can go explore a little bit. Not the hidden one. Yeah, okay. Let's go take a look. We'll get Ilinalta's Deep on the map anyway. That'll give us 3 at least. May as well just explore underwater here, huh? Let's do a quick save just in case anything bad happens. Right on the south front of Ilinalta's Deep will give you a 3rd. Okay, cool. And then I'm guessing the 4th one is the hidden one. But it's right against the stonework. Okay, we're getting there now. Yep, there it is. Good directions. Iron plate armor, that's going to be a little too heavy. Sell that skill book, though, or the spell book. Right, and might be a 5th, too. Okay. Well, may as well. It's probably not going to be in the middle of nowhere. It's probably near another point of interest. Let's see where else to check. Maybe around this little island over here? Maybe around the Ladystone Island? Now, what happens when I run out of stamina here? I'm not going to run out of stamina because of the Argonian regeneration when you get low. Man, that's nice. Man, an Argonian Barbarian build would be awesome to play, I think, because the regen on stamina keeps you power attacking. The regen on health will make up for the tanky part of it because of the light armor not being tanky and you needing to get in close for stuff. And then the caustic spit to lower the this is back on the other side there, huh? The caustic spit to lower enemies' armor. Very cool build, I think. Argonian is a sleeper hero for barbarian classes, I think. With Imperius, anyway. It would not be nearly as good in vanilla. There might be one in Ilinalta's Deep as well. I'm just not sure how far deep into that dungeon we can go. Now that I'm thinking of it, I think there might be submerged chests in Ilinalta's Deep. That might be worth a look, huh? Oh, and there's that slaughterfish again. Whee! 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 There's a few inside there too. Okay, well that's right there. Let's go ahead and do that. And at this low level, there aren't going to be too many like too many tough enemies. There is a mud crab over here though. Nasty creatures. Like I said, I'm just not sure how blocked off this area is outside of the context of the Azura's questline. Lord Daka, I haven't seen any of you guys in a long time. Yeah, right? Definitely haven't seen your name pop up in a while. Hope you're doing well. How we doing in here? This is going to be interesting. I'm not sure I've ever come here outside of the context of Azura's Star Quest with Malkoran's body and everything. No, not Malkoran. Who else am I thinking of? Was it Malkoran? Now, I'm using the campfire instincts as sort of a replacement for the Argonian strong sense of smell. Ooh, the conjurers? I'm gonna shoot that kettle there if I'm not careful. Oh wow, that completely missed. Okay, let's reset. Find a dark spot somewhere. Necromancers. I was trying to loot the skeleton, not pick up the damn skull. Malin Varen, that's the one. Malkoran is the one in the Meridia questline. Weird review, Halloween, I don't care for. You talking about the classic Halloween horror movies? Don't care for it. I was all if we're talking about mask wearing sort of pseudo undead people, I've always been a Friday the 13th and Jason fan over Halloween, but I wouldn't say or are you talking about the holiday Halloween? I like Halloween just fine. I don't really dress up anymore, but I like the holiday just fine. Oh my god, there's something really funky going on here with some auto aim or something. That definitely wasn't going where my cursor was, even in first person view. Oh, you got a Skyrim crash? That's never a fun time. Okay, let's see if that same auto aim business is gonna hurt me. Nope, still good there. Hide in a dark corner. Break line of sight. Now, stealth training. One of the best ways to increase your stealth experience, your sneak experience, is to get partially detected and then get the little eye icon in the stealth detector, the stealth meter. Get that all the way reset. When you go from partially detected to not detected at all, you get a huge bump to your sneak XP. So, yeah, whenever that eye closes, you're getting a big chunk of sneak XP. So it's not just the just walking around sneaking, not just the sneak attacks that are gonna help you, but getting partially detected and then resetting that detection status. That's gonna level you up really, really quickly in terms of sneak. Yeah, that was still a little off to the left. That cowl I might be able to use for something. Kind of thiefy. Spell tomes, they sell well. I'm hearing a skeleton in this next room. He should go down pretty easily. Just take out one of the vertebrae and the rest of them just fall to the floor in a pile. Get my arrow back. Best you've seen for scares are the Saw films? Also the movie too. Scares are too predictable. Okay, so you're talking about the Halloween holiday and the movies. Yeah, like I said, I prefer Friday the 13th over the Halloween movies, but I like them all. I'll watch them during Halloween. For horror movies, I like the psychological horror more than the jump scares. I like to actually be scared, and then like the jump scares just don't get to me anymore. A lot of the scary imagery, like with the monsters and stuff, don't really get to me anymore. They actually never really scared me when I was a kid either. But like a cool monster design, I can still appreciate, even if it doesn't scare me. Where am I going here? I feel like I'm missing something. This might be a case of just a certain path being closed off outside of the context of the Azura's quest. But I feel like there was another area to explore over here. Oh yeah, it was just a door that I didn't get to yet. So I like more of the psychological horror stuff. Exorcist is one of them, even though that does have some scary stuff. In terms of jump scares, I still enjoy a good jump scare, but the movies that I think did jump scares best, they're kind of dumb movies. They don't stand well on their own as far as like quality cinematic projects. But the Final Destination movies, in terms of jump scares, they're basically movies all about jump scares, and they do them quite well. The Saw stuff is just, it's kind of just disgust porn. Those don't really scare me as much as they just gross me out, right? There is a certain horror aspect to it once you start putting yourself in the shoes of the victims, which I get it. But more, it's just like how many disgusting things can you watch before your stomach is just completely turned and you have to stop watching? It's not really scary, it's just gross. God damn it. Cooperate, stand still. Now there is a chest down here in this pool of water, so I do remember that.
What was that? Mine's playing tricks on me.
Okay, let's wait for her to reset her position here. We should be able to take her out pretty easily here. There we go. Necromancers, man. The edgelords. Few septums here or there. They do add up, especially when you start with 0 gold. Okay. Now I think that there is a chest down here, and there's also a door down there as well. Am I mistaken? I thought there was a chest down here somewhere. I might be thinking of a different dungeon. Man, I was sure there was one in there. Maybe it's in here. Yeah, there's definitely one in here. There we go. No, I knew there was. I knew there was. Hardly anything in there for such a well-hidden chest, though. Okay, so that should be my 4th one, right? Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we may as well, I am curious to see just how far this dungeon goes without the star quest line. So let's finish this dungeon out and then we'll call it a stream. How about that? I prefer the theater version of The Woman in Black due to sound design, lighting, nearly... Yeah, there's a lot of experiences that, that just hit differently in the theater. I still love going to a theater to watch movies. Just because, yeah, like you said, you get the sound design. It's more of an immersive experience with the speakers all around you, right? With the THX sound design stuff, and then also a screen that is that fills your whole field of vision. Ah, crap. But then there's also just something about getting out of the house to go to a place where you just focused on just seeing a movie, right? And then you get the smells of the popcorn, and man, now my mouth is watering. I want to go see a movie. The wife and I just last weekend, actually last Sunday, we went to see Beetlejuice, and it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I still love the movie experience.
Did you hear something?
No, nobody heard anything. Don't be silly.
Nothing here after all.
Nope, nothing at all, except for an arrow in your back. Yeah, that ward's not going to help you with this arrow, buddy. Whoa! Okay. Let him reset himself there.
Just getting jumpy, I guess.
Have you tried a save cleaner, Lord Daka? I mean, that's usually a last resort, because it sounds like it's loading the save that you're having trouble with, not the game itself. You could probably do a new game just fine, I'm guessing. But if you're having trouble loading a specific save, it might just be a borked save. And if you're running mods that haven't been properly cleaned and stuff, that can happen later on in a playthrough. Okay, let's see here. One shot, that's good. But yeah, even with the save cleaning, that's always just a last resort, because that's almost never going to completely fix a save. It's just going to prolong the inevitable, in my experience. But it's worth trying. Always worth a shot if you really don't want to give up on a save. That's why I have fallen more into the ideas of character concepts instead of just character playthroughs. Because if you think of your character as just a concept and you're working on this character through the course of a playthrough, there's always a chance that you could revisit that character again. Rebuild them in a new way, learning what you learned before. And then that way, if your save gets completely borked, you're not really as devastated about it, because the character concept is still alive and well, and now you get another chance to refine that character concept even more. So every playthrough that I do is like, it's just a refinement of a character concept, right? If I lose a save, it's not a big deal, because now I get to take what I learned creating that character the first time and try it again. And in fact, with my Shaman Assassin build, that was actually two different playthroughs that culminated in the one that I ended up with the build guide for. And I did change a lot from one to the other. Yeah, those forum IDs getting baked into the save. Yeah, if you update, yeah, don't update. Don't update. There are ways to prevent updates. There are very tried and true ways to avoid those updates, so please do that. Also, I keep a backup of my install folder, like all of the stuff that gets, like the Skyrim exe and some of all the cleaned plugins in the data folder. I back all those up and even like my SKSE and my E and B binaries and stuff, once I get my game to a place where it's stable and I enjoy it and I'm liking the mod list and everything, I will just make a backup copy of everything in that install folder and throw it on a hard drive or external storage somewhere. So if it does end up updating, I can just drop all those back in and it works flawlessly again on an old save. Okay, so now, do I have any poisons here? I had the stamina poison that I did. Let's go ahead and use True Shot here. May as well switch to the fire arrows as well, or maybe a steel arrow. Yeah, let's go steel arrow. That's going to give me a little more physical damage here. Try to get 2 shots on him. No, I'm only getting the 1 in. Whatevs. Well, that's a Necromancer Adept. Okay, that's going to take a few shots. Grab a snack. Buckle in. Yeah, it's best to start with the easy stuff first, right? And then start taking more drastic measures. God. Necromancer, this Adept is very tanky, and he's probably also going to start healing himself, too. Okay, we got a sneak attack bonus on him there. Took enough of his health that he was not triggered to start healing, which is good. I only got so many arrows. Okay, I think we're safe here on out, right? Empty skeleton. Not empty skeleton. Wow, okay. Very quick. Very fast underwater. It ain't a variety show until you get a musical guest. Time to call Godsmack. Oh, remember Godsmack? I used to love Godsmack. Mostly because I did stand alone. Oh, there's another chest. Look at that. Another underwater chest. Welcome in, King. Good to see you, by the way. I didn't see you pop up earlier, so... Just saying hi. Hope you're doing well. Sneak attack bonus on the 4th or 5th arrow. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it procs, sometimes it doesn't. I did do an undetected sneak shot on a slaughterfish earlier. Like, several of them, and it never procced a single actual sneak attack bonus. Already doing pretty well on the skill levels without even having left the sort of supposed starting area here. Slaughterfish are never surprised. They're always ready. Yep. They never sleep. Little known fact about slaughterfish. They're omnipotent. They know all. Okay. Well, that does it for this dungeon. Let's head back outside and I think we'll call this a stream. So next stream, I'll probably continue grinding on my mage and warrior characters. They're pretty much feature complete at this point. I just need to get more spells for my mage, more shouts for the warrior and the mage, and that's just kind of just grinding stuff. So and training for each. So I'll probably just keep doing this thief character for the next few weeks, I think, because it gives you a little more let's play functionality, a little more let's play leniency as well. And we'll start doing some actual thiefy stuff. This was just the introduction of the character and the backstory of her and her personality and where I see her going. But next week, if I have some stuff going on next week, I think, but I think I'll be able to stream regardless. If we have a stream next week, we'll be doing some actual thiefy stuff. We'll be doing Thieves Guild stuff for collects many things here, and we'll start to expand her character a little bit more. We've been at level 1 this whole time. May as well just do a level up here. Let's see, for a thief, we're gonna want mostly stamina. So I think I'm gonna do 3 stamina and 2 health for every 5 levels. All the way up to level 5, look at that. And then, of course, we're gonna take our sneak and light armor and stuff first. Let's see here. Light armor I want to take right away because you don't actually start earning experience points with it unless you're getting hit. Unless you have a perk in light armor. And now, whenever I enter combat with all light armor, I will actually start earning experience on that. Boom. There we go. The Sneak Archer Special. Okay, well, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much. It was a ton of fun hanging out with you with a new character and everything. Thank you for the playthrough. You are welcome. Good to see you, Tom. Let's see. I think Magus is still waiting, or still getting his, putting a cap on his Athrolore playthrough, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a stream coming up. Also, the Wind was in here earlier. She usually does a Sunday stream. Sunday stram, probably still. Cap is done. Ooh. Oh, Athrolore? Are you done with Athrolore now? No more Athrolore? Let's see. The Wind, I think, has been playing 7 Days to Die. There you go. All right, new character will be on the way this week. Okay, so I guess you still got to set up some stuff, so maybe no stream today. And then, yeah, just go subscribe to the Panicked Monk. His link is in the description below. That was the community showcase that we did earlier. A lot of playthroughs there that I've been watching. Yeah, who else? Oh, Hybrid Avenger has a Twitch channel too that he's been playing some stuff on over there. So yeah, go subscribe to all these people. Yeah, and I think that's it. Thanks everybody for joining me. It was a lot of fun, and I'll see you next week if I don't see you sooner. Bye.